On the night of December 5, 1873, a domestic servant by the name of Bridget Landrigan was found brutally beaten and strangled to death on Columbia Street in the Boston suburb of Dorchester. The young woman's skull was crushed and she was naked from the waist down. A sawed-off wagon shaft covered with the victim's blood was found nearby. Witnesses reported seeing a man in black clothing with a flowing black cape and a tall silk hat fleeing the scene. He was described as being in his 20s and ran with a sailor's gait. The murder had shocked the community. People became especially fearful and suspicious of men wearing capes. Although several men were questioned in the murder of Bridget Landrigan, including her ex-boyfriend who had recently returned to his home country of Ireland, police were unable to gather enough evidence to solve the case, so the killer remained at large. On July 1, 1874, Mary Tyner was found in her bed badly beaten. The attacker had struck Tyner in the head multiple times with a hammer before exiting through a window. Although she had survived the attack, she was unable to identify her attacker. Police arrested the woman's ex-boyfriend, but he was later released due to lack of evidence. On May 23, 1875, 5-year-old Mabel Young arrived at the Warren Avenue Baptist Church at 2 p.m. for Sunday school. As time passed, the girl's aunt grew concerned as she did not know the whereabouts of her niece. The churchgoers began frantically searching for Mabel in the church and surrounding streets when they heard the child's whimpers coming from the belfry. The searchers rushed to the sexton of the church, Thomas Piper, to unlock the doors to the belfry, something which he was reluctant to do. Eventually, a member of the church used a pair of pliers to remove the door off its hinges. Several men raced inside and found Mabel Young unconscious. The 5-year-old was suffering from severe blunt trauma to the back of her head and died the next morning. Police arrived on the scene and suspicion was immediately cast on Thomas Piper, not only due to his uninterested behaviour during the search and discovery of the girl, but also because he was a suspect in the murder of Bridget Landrigan. The 26-year-old was taken away for questioning and examination. A police officer discovered a cricket bat underneath a loose floorboard and concluded that it was the murder weapon. Thomas Piper, originally from Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, grew up on a farm his family owned. He worked as a carpenter before moving to Boston in 1866 with his family. He was an avid Baptist churchgoer, and people who knew him regarded him as literate and clever. Piper strongly denied his involvement in the murder of Mabel Young. Adding to the fact that there was no solid evidence, his first trial ended in a hung jury, with 9 jury members voting for a conviction, whilst 3 voted for an acquittal. A second trial would take place a short time after, and this time Thomas Piper would be found guilty and sentenced to death. He claimed that the young girl's death was an accident after he had taken her up to the tower to see the pigeons. He said he had left for a moment, and when he returned, the girl had fallen. A day before he was executed, Thomas Piper confessed to the murder of Mabel Young, as well as the murder of Bridget Landrigan and the assault on Mary Tyner. He also revealed that he was responsible for a number of arsons and rapes. On May 26, 1876, Piper was executed by hanging. A crowd of 400 people attended the execution, while 1,000 more waited outside the Suffolk County jail to hear that the Boston Belfry Murderer was no more.